Like I put 5 years of my hard work into UPSC, and I turned out to be a failure. Now I was 27 and I have like no job. And to everyone, I was looking like a failure. I mean, we were watching a movie. The husband is telling his wife that you can prepare for UPSC and stuff instead of this beauty parlor and things. And then my dad was like, అవన్నీ చేయాలంటే కష్టపడాలి కదా, as if I didn't worked hard enough. That's the reality. Even if you put all your hard work, and even if you spend your sleepless nights, even if you battle depression, even if you battle anxiety, even if you face multiple failures, even if you're trying your hard to regain the self-worth after all the failures, if you don't have any result, if you're not successful at the end, people will look at you and tell on your face that you're a failure.
I just assume you have spent, let's say, 6 years doing nothing, only preparing for UPSC. Sorry, 5 years. Sixth year onwards, you get into the job market. You start with a salary of maybe 6 lakh per annum. I've assumed, I think, 8 to 10% growth rate in your salary year on year from then on. And I've compared your career trajectory with a peer of yours who did not wait for 6 years or 5 years, started from day one. This is what the cost comes out to be. Or a life cycle of earnings. If I assume earning lifespan is, let's say, 35 years, the opportunity cost itself comes out to be around INR 7 CR. This is huge opportunity cost, guys, just purely because you decided to spend 5 years full time preparing for UPSC and your peer did not. It might be more. It is certainly not less than this. Hi everyone. I hope all of you are doing well. My name is Akshat. I'm a co-founder at Rebounce. And today I'm going to be talking about a very important topic which very few people talk about, right? This topic is associated with UPSC and it is about the cost of not having a plan B. Everyone talks about plan B. Everyone talks about, okay, if UPSC doesn't work out, we need a plan B. There are various versions, various definitions of what a right plan B is, but that is not what I'm going to be talking about today. Today's topic is slightly different, but very important and very pertinent, which is the cost of not having a plan B. Many of you prepare for UPSC examination, right? And for all the right reasons. These reasons might be you're motivated by purpose, power, prestige, growth, learning, fulfillment, security, impact, maybe many other stuff, right? I prepared for the same motivations, guided by the same motivations back in 2013, right? And these are all good, well-founded motivations to go for such prestigious examination. There is no doubt about it, right? Also, guided by these motivations, we all study really hard. There is a lot needed to qualify this examination, for which everyone talks about, right? Things like intellectual depth, communication skills, societal awareness, sacrifice and patience, motivation, purpose, analytical skills, problem solving skills, strategic thinking, perseverance, resilience, consistency, discipline, and whatnot. You name it, this exam needs it, right? That is why it is called one of the toughest examinations in India. Maybe not just India, the whole world, right? And everyone talks about it. Everyone talks that, okay, you're going for UPSC examinations, you have decided to prepare for UPSC examination. You need to have good consistency. You need to study with consistency, with discipline. You need to have right purpose, motivation, along with various things like perseverance, resilience, etc., right? Well known, everyone talks about, again, all the right reasons people talk about. But there is a harsh but honest truth which very few people talk about, despite knowing it, recognizing it well. But in the common parlance, very few people talk about it. And what is that? First, the reality of numbers. The fact that every year out of all people who are applying for UPSC, the number comes out to be 10 lakh, maybe few 5-7% here and there. Let's just assume maybe around 10 lakh apply every year, out of which only 6 lakh appear for pre for whatever reasons, 4 lakh drop out, maybe they want to save their attempts or whatever, right? Out of these 4 lakhs, only 13,000 qualify for the mains examination. Around 13,000, it might be 5-7% here and there, but let's just assume around 13,000. Out of these, maybe only 2.5 thousand qualify for the interview. Again, 2-5% here and there, but broadly the number comes out to be around 2.5 thousand every year. Out of this 2.5 thousand guys, only 900, around 900, sometimes 1,000, 1,100, sometimes less, 700, 800, but more or less around 900, find their name in the final selection list. And out of these 900, give and take 400, 450, or maybe 500, are selected for IAS, IPS, or IFS. If I add everything up from top to bottom, the selection percentage or probability comes out to be around 0.05% to become a IAS, IPS, or IFS, which are the services most sought after, and which are the services which people want to go in, right? Again, nothing complicated here. It's a simple mathematics. 10 lakh around apply, around 450 get into services with the IAS, IPS, or IFS tab. The probability of selection comes out to be around 0.045%, which is very low, no doubt, right? This is one aspect people do not talk about, that the selection probability is very, very low. But maybe people are aware of it at the back of their mind. They do talk about it somewhere, in some conversation. Let's just assume this is the reality. Not many talk about it. Not many realize it. But this is how the numbers game play. Then another very important reality check, which despite people being aware of it, knowing it, fail to recognize it, and hence are stuck in this cycle of pre-mains interview, every year pre. It would happen the next time. It would happen the next time. But it is one examination where there is very, very high inconsistency and uncertainty. How? Let's just assume hypothetically there is individual X who appears for this examination in year one. In year one, the person reaches up to the interview stage but does not find the name in the final list. The next year, the same person, the same examination appears for the examination again. This time around, the person is not able to qualify for it. Same person, same examination with same intellect, everything remains the same. But the person is not able to qualify preliminary examination, right? For whatever reasons. You might clear mains once, you might fail pre the next time. You might reach interview stage once, you might fail to clear prelims in the next 4 or 5 attempts. You might clear mains in every single attempt consistently for the next 4 to 5 times, still would not find name in the finals. So there is inconsistency, there is uncertainty. No one has the formula of success. There are a lot of factors definitely which are controllables, but there are also factors which are uncontrollables. The degree might vary, you and me can debate on those, but no one can sort of deny the fact that there are uncontrollables which are also at play, because of which at any stage of this examination you can get eliminated. This might happen once, this might happen back to back 6 times. Hence, very, very high inconsistency and uncertainty. People say that, look, this time around I couldn't clear by my prelims by 1 marks or by 0.5 marks. Next time around, if I appear, I would be able to clear it. Sorry, that is not the case. Every cycle is like a fresh start. What you did in the previous round is immaterial to outcomes this time around, right? Similarly, people say that, look, I appeared for mains 2 times. Every single time my scores are going up. I'm still not able to qualify, but the third time I appear, maybe I will be able to qualify. Again, incorrect. Um, you know, uh, uh, Incorrect way to analyze things. Every cycle is fresh, every cycle is unique, every cycle might bring in challenges on uncertainties which were not there in the previous round, and that might make you not qualify consistently back to back. This is not to discourage you, this is not to go for this examination. If you have decided to go for it, you are being brave, and I really applaud that. For all the right reasons you want to go for it, which is a good thing. But please note, do not get stuck in this cycle because of the fact that you couldn't qualify mains this time around because you were short by 2 marks. Next time if you go for it, you would be able to do it. No, the answer is no. This exam is highly inconsistent, highly uncertain. Performance is in one round is no indication, zero indication of how you might end up performing in the next round. You might end up performing better, you might end up performing worse. It will only be a function of circumstances and various other things which might be at play in that particular round, irrespective of what happens in the previous. So this brings in inconsistency and uncertainty in this examination. Third thing, the monetary cost. I don't think before this particular video anyone ever tried or attempted to put a number to what the monetary cost comes out to be. Here is my attempt at it. These calculations are very simple. I just assume you have spent, let's say, 6 years doing nothing, only preparing for UPSC. Sorry, 5 years. 6th year onwards, you get into the job market. You start with a salary of maybe 6 lakh per annum. I've assumed, I think, 8 to 10% growth rate in your salary year on year from then on. And I've compared your career trajectory with a peer of yours who did not wait for 6 years or 5 years, started from day one. This is what the cost comes out to be. Or a life cycle of earnings. If I assume earning lifespan is, let's say, 35 years, the opportunity cost itself comes out to be around INR 7 CR. This is huge opportunity cost, guys, just purely because you decided to spend 5 years full time preparing for UPSC and your peer did not. It might be more. It is certainly not less than this. And it's a huge cost no one talks about, no one is aware about. People always think that, look, I'm getting into UPSC, I'm going to be spending 4 years, 5 years, 6, 7, 8, whatever. And if I cross that barrier, all of these costs will be nullified. Maybe yes, true. I don't disagree. UPSC is such a, being a civil servant is a very lucrative opportunity, very lucrative post with all the perks associated with this. There is no doubt that this monetary cost will be wiped away in case you find your list in the final list, in case you find your name in the final list. But think about the other outcome, which has a probability of very high occurrence. Only 0.05% people find their name in the final list. Rest, for everyone, this opportunity cost is a reality. The more time you spend preparing for UPSC, the higher the opportunity cost goes up. You might not realize in year 1, 2, 3, or 5, but once you are in the market, you realize it. I have realized it despite only spending 3.5 years preparing for this exam. I see my peers doing exceedingly well at this point of time in their career. I'm not saying that I have not done well, but I still have that inside me that maybe those 3.54 years, if I would have not given to UPSC, but maybe worked, I would have grown even more in my career, right? So that is the feeling. Now think about it. I have this feeling even after 12 to 13 years of working, post going for UPSC and coming out of that journey. I'm sure all of you would carry this sentiment, this sort of a thing, for the majority of your career, right? So this is just pure monetary cost calculation and nothing else. Then there are other costs, right? Coaching fees, material, rent, food, which can easily reach to 6 to 10 lakhs per annum. Typically, when you are a student preparing for UPSC, you are either on family savings, the family supporting you, or there are loans people have taken to sort of sustain this journey, right? So there is this added financial cost along with a stress, again financial stress, that because the costs are so high, so sooner or later you need to qualify this examination, which might become a heavy burden on you. Then, along with the opportunity cost or the monetary cost, the other financial cost, we have the mental, emotional, and social cost. Right? It takes a huge toll. Emotional cost is about constant comparison and competition. Which people do all the time. You yourself can do it. Your parents can do it. Your friends can do it, which can lead to anxiety, stress, self-doubt, guilt, etc., etc. Then there is mental cost, right? People after preparing for this examination for X number of years just struggle to come out of this cycle. They have pressure from peers, family, sense of behind in life, which everything adds in terms of mental cost. I talk to a lot of people. We at Rebounce talk to a lot of people. They say that mentally they are not doing well. They are into therapy, this and that. So there is a huge mental cost, right? Mental overload, because year on year, month on month, you are preparing only for this examination and nothing else. Secluded, so to say, from friends, family, circle, etc., etc., which adds to a social cost. You have a reduced social circle. Everyone's either enjoying their life, visiting places, working somewhere, earning money, spending that in things which they want to do, which they like doing, posting things on social media. There are a lot of family expectations. You face difficulty to explain your repeated attempts to friends, family, this and that, right? Everything has a cost to it at the end of the day. So these are three other costs, apart from the monetary cost and other financial costs, which is emotional, mental, social cost. Everyone goes through it silently. No one wants to talk about it openly. Very, very few people talk about it. By the time they realize that the costs have become so high that they are just unable to bear it any longer, a lot of years already passed by, right? So, guys, yes, there are benefits, there are motivations, right motivations, because of which all of us, including myself, decide to go for this examination. But the truth is, there are also costs associated with it. The costs might, you know, uh, be more than the benefits after a certain point in time. Those points might vary from person to person, individual to individual, but I'm certain after a certain point in time, that break-even point, those cost starts becoming more than the benefits. And I am of the firm opinion, and this is what I've been talking about, writing about it continuously, that this exam does not deserve a decade of prime youth. Youth is to learn, youth is to experience, youth is to enjoy life, youth is to contribute in more meaningful ways than just spending years preparing for this examination. Not saying that this examination is not important, not saying that the kind of opportunity this exam provides are not useful. Not many opportunities are equivalent to what this examination provides. Absolutely, everything agreed. Like I said, I have myself been an aspirant long time back, but also is the fact that this India is not the India which was 20 years back or 30 years back. This India has lots and lots of opportunities available beyond this examination as well. Trust me, this examination does not deserve decade or more than 3 or 4 years of prime youth. Let me put it that way. You might like it, you might not like it, but that is the truth. The India of today, the India of present, has many opportunities to make money, make an impact on the ground, do something meaningful, as well as enjoy your youth, enjoy your life. So guys, bottom line is, because there are so many uncontrollables, so many costs associated with this examination, it is important to have the right plan B. I cannot emphasize on this enough. Now, what is the right plan B? What is not a right plan B? That I'm going to be talking about in my subsequent videos, but all said and done, a plan B is needed, which can be turned into a plan A at the right time. Now, what that right time is, what is the right plan B, what is not the right plan B, that I'm going to be talking about in my subsequent sessions. But please recognize these costs sooner rather than later. Your friends might not recognize it. Sometimes your family might not recognize it. Even your parents might not recognize it, because the parents have not seen opportunities available in today's India, in today's Bharat. They still feel, friends still feel, family still feels that a government job is the ultimate ticket to prestige, success, money, etc. But trust me, I've worked for the last 12 years. I've made money. I made good money. I've grown professionally from my own experience and from what I see around me, as well as helping people in the last 3 to 4 years. I'm telling you, this is not true. There is life, a very, very good, very, very impactful life to be had outside this examination. Kindly welcome that with open arms, and everything starts with having a right plan B. Not discouraging you to not go for UPSC. You should absolutely go for UPSC, but you should be aware of these costs, these considerations, and hence at right time put in place a right plan. Because you can do everything right, you might be the best person in the market to qualify for this examination. Still, the way this examination is designed, you might not find your name in the final list, and that is the UPSC paradox. Thank you so much, guys.